Are you looking to get into Power BI and you just don't know how? Or are you looking to get into tech and you just don't know how? Or are you just simply looking to get a six-figure job and you just don't know how? Or it could be a combination of the three. Are you looking to get into tech using Power BI and making six figures and you just don't know how? Listen, I'm going to take care of all of that and more in this video of the power of the BI. Welcome back to another video on the power of the BI. Welcome back to another video on the power of the BI. Here today, what we talk about here in Power of the BI is everything Power BI and more. Just a little housekeeping that I like to get off the top, get cleared off the top is Power BI is a Microsoft tool, but I do not work for Microsoft. Power BI is a Microsoft tool, and currently Microsoft is not a sponsor of this video, the power of the BI. Now, with that said, I am not going to refuse Microsoft with if they come to me with an offer that is a fair representation of the company, or a fair representation of an offer to sponsor. So Mr. Microsoft, if you're out there and you're listening, come holler at your boy. Come holler at your boy. But with that said, I do promote Power BI from the simple fact that it is my business intelligence tool of choice. There are several other business intelligence tools that are out there. I have had an opportunity to work with a few of them, and Power BI is definitely the tool of choice that I have chosen to go with. So with that said, I do know the benefits of learning Power BI from the early stages of Power BI, from getting into a company from an early developer standpoint, and we can talk about that here in a little bit. But what I am here today, what I want to do is I want to talk to you directly about Power BI, what Power BI is, where Power BI, I guess, even derived from, or how it derived within the Microsoft family, and talk to you about, you know, some of the things that you can do within Power BI and how Power BI can help you in your daily jobs within, no matter what industry you're in. Power BI is coming, and it's coming fast and furious. Before I go a whole lot further, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Like this video and subscribe to this channel. It helps me be able to put out a lot more content in regards to Power BI. You can be the direct direct, whatever it would be called, to, you know, be able to help the Power BI community receive more information, more content just like this coming from Power of the BI. Now, just a little bit about myself. I am a Power BI developer. I have developed Power BI from the smallest level to the highest level. When I say the highest level, I'm talking about from some of the most top secret projects within the United States government, right? So I've been a Power BI developer that I've seen a lot and most when it comes to Power BI. Power BI, BI stands for business intelligence. It stands for business intelligence. Just like AI stands for artificial intelligence, BI stands for business intelligence. BI and AI have not all the way integrated as of yet. There is some integration that is being performed in some ways. I know many of you guys have heard about Microsoft Copilot, and that's part of Microsoft's artificial intelligence tools, but it also interacts and integrates with Power BI, but it is not there yet. If I had to put a percentage on it, I don't think that it's even when I say the tip of the iceberg, it's not even, it's not there. So you are definitely on the front end of an emerging tool. So if you are looking for something that you are on the front end of, you're on the front end of an emerging tool. What does that really look like? So from what I understand, Power BI was released around 2013 in the infancy stages as part of the Microsoft Excel product. So what does that mean? That means that if you have some experience with Excel, you have some experience with Power BI. Now, you don't have to have the full extent of all Excel, and you may not know everything in regards to Excel that would make you a Microsoft Power BI expert. But what I'm telling you is that if you're looking to get in tech and you're looking to get into something that you can make six figures easy, well, I'm not gonna say six figures easy. If you took my class, if you took my course, Power of the BI, over at powerofthebi.com. Again, as I always do, throw out that shameless plug, powerofthebi.com is where my course resides. You will be able to learn Power BI, and you will definitely be competing for six-figure opportunities. You will be competing for six-figure opportunities off the rip. Again, Power BI was released, I believe, somewhere around 2013 as it was part of a Microsoft Excel release, which made Microsoft Excel just a little bit more potent, a little bit more powerful as the Power Pivot, Power Query platform, Power Query and Power Pivot were introduced into Microsoft Excel, which then led into the full-fledged Power BI, which I believe was released around 2015 as a product itself. Initially, it was launched into the as a web service, into a cloud service, but the official Power BI desktop was released, I believe, somewhere around 2015, where you would be able to download the actual Microsoft Power BI desktop version, which currently that's where we are. We work within the desktop version, and the rest has been history. I do believe that understanding the history of Power BI and understanding where it's come from, I like to throw that out there to make individuals feel comfortable, to make individuals such as yourself feel comfortable in understanding that Power BI is not a product that has been with Microsoft since the early 2000s. It's a fairly new product. And those that have Power BI experience are not individuals with 20 years of Power BI experience. There's no one out there that has 20 years of Power BI experience unless it's someone within Microsoft that was creating it 20 years ago. But as far as individuals out there that you'll be competing with, you're not going to be competing with someone that's got 20 years of experience in Power BI. As a matter of fact, most colleges and universities that teach data analytics, or what they're calling data science now, many of them don't even teach, most of them don't even teach Power BI. And those that do teach Power BI, they only teach it from an application standpoint of this is just another tool that you need to know in order to pass this class or get this degree from this university. Where I'm going with that is completing my course, Power of the BI. You're going to be as knowledgeable as many of the individuals that have gone to school for data science, and well, I'm not going to say data science. I'm going to say for business intelligence or data engineering, right? Because data science is a broad topic, and most data scientists do have probably 20 years of experience in what is data science, being the understanding of what data looks like from several different aspects of data. I'm not going to get too much deeper into that because we're speaking in the realm of speaking in terms of big data. So I'm not going to talk too much about data science, but from data analytics, data engineering, a developer standpoint, a Power BI developer standpoint, you're not going to be competing with anyone with 20 years of experience. Guaranteed. What does the job look like? I mean, from $60,000 to $150,000 is what you would be looking like, or what individuals look like coming in initially into the Power BI market. I encourage my students, we don't take less than six figures. We don't take less than six figures. We're looking at anywhere from $52 to $55 an hour starting out, somewhere around 65, 70 on the high end. I don't encourage you to jump out there and take a $150,000 job. Those jobs are there. I don't encourage you to jump out there and take them. I encourage you to take those 50 to 55 dollar an hour jobs, you will be more than qualified and capable, competent to perform the work at a very high level, which is at a senior level when it comes to Power BI. And you know, if that entices you, that's what we're here for. That's why we are here talking about Power BI right now. Just to give you some idea of what titles or positions look like when it comes to Power BI developer, entry-level positions or junior positions. If you're searching for Power BI jobs, just to do a fact check on some of the things that I'm telling you, or do a fact check on any of the things that I'm telling you, definitely here when it comes to Power BI and the job titles, the positions that are available. There's the Power BI developer, the Power BI developer is a junior, a data analyst, a reporting analyst, and a BI analyst. All of those are Power BI positions. They're Power BI developer positions. At the end of the day, Power BI is Power BI. I don't care if you call it a developer, an analyst, a reporting analyst, or a BI analyst. It's still a Power BI developer. You'll be using Power BI desktop, and you'll be creating Power BI reports. I don't care what you call it, right? And those are junior level positions. Anywhere from 0 to 2 years of experience is what that would be classified as now. From what I've seen, many companies want you to have more than 2 years of experience, which would mean you would not come in as an entry-level position. You'll be looking at the mid-level positions, which are $85,000 to $115,000 a year. And again, I encourage my students to only take the six-figure positions, whether it's 100,000 and one penny or over 100,000 and one penny. We're looking for six-figure positions. And the reason why that I really encourage this is not from an arrogant standpoint, not from an ungrateful standpoint. It's simply because it really doesn't take a long time to really understand what a company is looking for in Power BI. And just because it's a new tool that you've learned doesn't mean that you're in an entry-level position. Before you finish my course at Power of the BI, you will understand why you really deserve the six-figure opportunity, as opposed to that pre-six-figure, that under six-figure opportunity. Now, if you're in a situation, I do not tell you not to take it. If you're in a situation where you need a job, you're in a situation where it's most beneficial for you and your family to take that job, no matter what that dollar amount is, for all sakes, take it, right? I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm just going to tell you that what you know and what you're going to learn and what you know once you finish Power of the BI, you're definitely going to have, you're definitely going to be more valuable to an organization than just taking the first offer that they give you, okay? But the mid-level positions, again, you've got a Power BI developer, which is a mid-level position. At the entry-level position, it was a Power BI developer, when they call it junior and when they're going to call it mid-level. Then there's the business intelligence developer, the data visualization specialist, and the Power Platform developer. I wouldn't really encourage you to get into the Power Platform developer standpoint or position coming right out of Power of the BI, because Power Platform really is another position. So I've seen that a couple of times. I've seen positions come through and they say Power Platform developer, and that sounds like a trick to me. That sounds like something that could get very, very sticky, very, very fast. And the reason why is because there really is a Microsoft product within the Power Platforms that's really called Power Platform, right? And basically you will be creating Power Apps, right? So the Power Platform for Microsoft, there is the Power, there's Power BI, there's Power Apps, and I think there's another Power something, and those are considered all in the Power Platform. But if you take a job that says Power Platform developer, you could get kind of stuck in the middle of maybe even someone saying, well, you need to be able to develop this app, this Power app. Now, when I say app, it's not something that you're going to find on in the Google Play Store, in the Apple's iTunes Store. It's not that type of app, but it is a little bit more specific to, well, it's not a little bit more, it's specific to business intelligence when it comes to Microsoft, but it's not something that comes along with this course. For those that are in, now this is advantage those that are in the data engineering schools and the computer information schools, where they may learn a little bit about Power BI, a little bit about creating a Power App, and then learning a little bit about other business intelligence tools. But I don't get into Power Platform. I don't confess to even know how to create a Power App. I do Power BI, a Power BI developer, Fabric engineer, those types of things, right? So, and even Fabric, I don't even get into in this particular course. There's some Fabric that I would encourage my students as we get along to, as we move along into our coursework, that I would say, hey, you know, you may want to take a look at this in Fabric, but I don't teach any Fabric because that's another step above. So let me back up. Let me say it a different way. I do teach Fabric, but it's in a different course. It's at another level. And it's not a level that I say that my students have to be working at. I think that Fabric is something that they need to understand what Fabric is, but they don't necessarily have to understand what Fabric does. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm just gonna back up because I can say too much, and then someone would start throwing words at me and saying, well, you need to know Fabric and you need to know ADO. No, you don't. No, you don't. I mean, anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But for the mid-level roles of Power BI developers, business intelligence developers, data visualization specialists, and Power Platform developers, the ranges for those roles somewhere around between 85 to 115,000, and the senior roles, which pretty much are doing just about the same thing as the mid-level roles, which would simply be called a senior Power BI developer, and in some cases it's called a BI solutions architect. But when you start talking about a BI solutions architect, that's really a slightly different role. When you start talking about architects, you could be talking about data modeling for Power BI, or you could be talking about modeling other types of BI when it comes to business intelligence products. So I wouldn't jump out there and say I would take or encourage someone to take a solutions architect role unless you've been with the company for a minute. You know what the company is, you know what the company does, and now it's that promotion level for you. But I definitely wouldn't take a solutions architect role at a low six-figure job at 105, 115, even $120,000. I mean, that's something that I believe, you should be in the realm of 130 to 180, somewhere around there, maybe even 200,000 if you decide to take a solutions architect role. But what I teach in my course, Power of the BI, is Power BI, and what you should be expecting is a role as a Power BI, as a Power BI developer or a senior Power BI developer. And at the end of the day, I don't care what you call me. If I'm doing Power BI, I don't care what you call me, but I know that my check needs to be at a certain amount. And that's what I encourage my students. Hey, your check needs to be at a certain amount, and at the role that you're coming in at, you should at minimum be looking at 100,000 on average of 105,000. The $115,000 roles are not too far-fetched. Anything over that coming right out of Power of the BI, I would just say be careful, because if you're taking those $120,000, $130,000 roles, there could be some things that are expected for you that you would know that you're not really ready for, and you could be biting off a little bit more than what you could chew. But again, I'm not going to tell you not to take it. If you can get it, get it. And of course, you will have the community within Power of the BI to fall back on and get some assistance if you run into a headache on a job that you're really not ready for. But anyway, that is what that looks like. Now, you say, well, why Power BI? Why not another one of the tech solutions out there that would probably be more advantageous for me to jump into? Could be, I don't know. Could be, I don't know. The deal is, I teach Power BI. That's what I do. I teach Power BI. So if you want to learn Power BI, I am here to teach you Power BI. If you're not sure if Power BI is what you're looking for, I encourage you to look around. There are a lot. I'm gonna say a lot. There's several tech tools out there that I am aware of that I know fit the same bill as jumping out. You're gonna jump out at six figures. That is almost a prerequisite of my students, is that you jump out there at six figures. Now, again, I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't take a role or take a salary that is slightly lower if you're in a situation that you have to, or that is really more beneficial for you and your family to take that job right then. But as far as the other roles, there are several other roles. I don't necessarily pump those roles. I don't necessarily promote those roles, because those, really, to be honest, are not roles that I know. I mean, there are a lot of tech jobs out there, and those jobs I don't know, right? When I say I don't know, it's not that I don't know of them, it's that I don't know how to perform them, and I can't teach them. When I don't like saying can't, but I'm not able to perform them, and I don't teach them. So if you're looking for one of those other types of roles, I do encourage you to keep searching, keep looking around, and eventually you're going to find that role that is best for you. Question may come up, do you have to code? Do you need to know coding when it comes to Power BI? And the answer to, do you need to be able to code when it comes to Power BI, the answer is, it's tricky. That's the answer. The answer is tricky, because you really don't know. Let me back up. You really don't have to know how to code when it comes to Power BI. There is a coding language. There is a language that is used for Power BI, specifically for Power BI. And that language is called DAX, D-A-X, which is Data Analytics Expressions. They're not as intense or as difficult as some of the other computer coding languages. Most of DAX within a Power BI report can be written in less than a line of code. When I say less than a line, I mean we're talking about something real simple, no more than maybe 50 characters. Very seldom, well, I don't say very seldom, but there are times where you'll need multiple lines of code, but it's not like writing code in Java or C++, C#, Python, things like that, because this coding, this DAX is super simple. You can Google DAX, and you can Google a DAX example, and you'll see that it's super simple. I do teach DAX within the course. I do teach SQL within the course. SQL is a language that DAX is built upon. SQL is the language that Excel is built upon, and DAX is built upon DAX is built upon SQL. So if you can imagine, SQL is SQL is used in another Microsoft product called SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS, and SSMS or SQL is SSMS is a database that, if you would think of an Excel spreadsheet, it would be an Excel spreadsheet to the 100th degree. But Power BI, I like to believe, is a database or a developer tool that is SQL to the 100th degree. So they all integrate. You can integrate SQL and Power BI. You can integrate Excel into Power BI, and you can integrate Excel into SQL Server Management Studio to a certain degree. and you can export a SQL Server Management Studio database, well, not a database, but a table to an Excel spreadsheet. That's a whole nother conversation. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, if you understand Excel, if you have some understanding of Excel, you are going to come in with some understanding of Power BI. And if you don't understand Excel, that's cool too. If you don't know Excel, that's cool too. I teach Power BI from a simple level, from a very, very basic level, to the point to where when you're done, you're more than competent, qualified, and capable of competing for one of these six-figure jobs. Now, the question is, how long is this course? This course that I've created is right at about 16 weeks. I do know that it can be done in slightly less than 8 weeks. I think that if you do it any faster than, 8 weeks, when I say slightly less, I'm saying maybe 7 weeks and 5 days, but anything faster than 7 weeks and 5 days, you're really not learning anything. I can almost guarantee you that you're just going through the motions of completing a course. But I do know you can double down and you can be done in 8 weeks, but it's designed for a 16-week, to be a 16-week course. So here's the deal. I used to be a 5th grade math teacher. My students could finish this program in, I'm gonna say, 16 to 20 weeks. So where I'm going with that is, if you understand 5th grade math, this course is not going to be difficult for you. If you can do 5th grade math, if you're smarter than the 5th grader, or if you're just as smart as a 5th grader, that's a 10-year-old, you can complete this course within 16 weeks. Okay. Now, again, I used to be a 5th grade math teacher. What does that mean? That means that I built curriculums. I created curriculums every week. Not curriculums, but I created lesson plans. I created lesson plans every week for my students. I created lesson plans every week for my students. I created tests every week for my students. I created quizzes every week for my students. These students were 10 years old. These students were 5th graders. I've created this course, Power of the BI, just as I would have created lesson plans for my students. Now, with that said, if you have gone to a university and you have completed, a year of college, or you completed a 4-year degree, you know that you take many courses even outside of what you are looking to specifically look for a job in. You have taken some courses that you probably feel you will never use again, or you took courses that you believed and you found that you would never use those courses again. The way that I created the curriculum for Power, the way that I created the lesson plan and the curriculum, the way I created the curriculum for Power of the BI is in that same mindset, but with the intention of everything that's being taught is being taught that's in reference to Power BI. What does that mean? That means that there is a historical component of Power BI. You do learn history of Power BI. There are some projects. You do create projects in Power BI. You have a very specific lesson plan for each component, for each module within the course framework. If you double down and you go through all of the modules and you complete all of the projects and you submit all of the homework and you submit all of the quizzes and all the tests, you'll be able to complete this. You'll be able to complete this course in a timely basis of 16 weeks. What does that really look like? That means that if you put in about 3 hours, if you put in about 3 hours worth of work, about 3 hours worth of time over a 16-week time period, you'll be able to complete this course. So what does that really mean? You double down, 6 hours, you can finish the course in 8 weeks. You'll be prepared and ready to go out and get one of those six-figure opportunities. I don't guarantee anything. I don't guarantee that you're going to get the job. I don't guarantee you that you're going to start out with a six-figure job. What I guarantee you is this: if you do what I ask you to do, and you double down, whether you double down for 8 weeks, you double down for 16 weeks, and you put your head to the grind, and you do everything you need to do to understand Power BI, to do the things you need to do to be a great Power BI developer, you're going to get one of those six-figure opportunities, as long as the time permits for you. You may say, hey, I need a job today, and you can't really afford, I hate to use can't, you don't really want to wait on another opportunity to get even better. You may say, hey, this $97,000 job is good for me. So with that said, it's all on you. What I'm telling you is you're going to learn what you need to know in 16 weeks, and you're going to be more than capable and qualified to go out there and get one of those positions. Now, when it comes to being a Power BI developer, when it comes to understanding all of the other things that come along with the job from a tech standpoint, you're going to get introduced to some of the things, but there's no way that you're going to be able to be introduced to everything that happens within a tech environment, within a tech company, or a tech position within 16 weeks. It's going to be on you to stay on the grind. It's going to be on you to learn what you need to learn about the company and what the expectations are of the company. Now, I'm going to go back to something I didn't finish up on, and that was, if the question came up, do I need to be able to code? The answer to that question is no, you don't have to be able to code. It is a trick question, but no, you don't have to be able to code. I've got friends that have Power BI jobs that don't code, and there's reason for that. But as you matriculate through the course Power of the BI, you will get to understand why you don't necessarily need to be able to code in order to perform your job. Now, look, check this out. I am going to be holding a free webinar next Sunday. Again, I'm going to say I'm going to be holding a free webinar next Sunday. It's going to be a 90-minute webinar, and I am going to be teaching you from beginning to end how to create a Power BI report so that you can understand what Power BI is, what Power BI does, and what Power BI can do for you. If you're interested in attending my free webinar, which is going to be next Sunday, all you have to do is follow the link below or go to my site, powerofthebi.com. Again, go to my site, powerofthebi.com, and register for my free webinar. So, in essence, Power BI is a tool that is simple to use, but you must learn it, okay? Everyone that's out there that's building Power BI reports are not building Power BI reports and using DAX. There's some out there that are building Power BI reports and they're able to bring the data straight in and build out the visualizations. And then there are those that are out there that are, building fairly extensive reports, right? So it's just levels to this. Now, where I'm going with that is you are going to learn you're going to learn the basics of the code for coding in DAX in order to be successful. And then depending on which job you get, you're going to be ready, whether you have to code or you don't have to code, or you got to code a lot or code a little. And again, I don't want you to feel as if you're going to be out there on your own. You're going to have the power of, no pun intended, but you're going to have the power of our Power of the BI community that you're going to have direct access to, just in case you run up against something that you haven't seen before. You need a quick answer because you don't need to be exposed by a company that is saying, hey, he's really not, or she's really not ready to be a Power BI developer, or they're really not a Power BI developer. Now, that leads me into to my next topic, to where you may feel as if when you finish the course Power of the BI and you end up getting a position and that salary comes in at over $100,000 and you're like, I don't know what to do. I can't believe that this is my life Am I really ready for this? And the answer to that is yes, you are ready for it. Here's the deal. Power BI is I'm going to say infiltrating most organizations in the United States. Now, it could be we can say business intelligence, and every organization is not using Power BI. Some are using other tools, but we know the power of Microsoft, right? No pun intended. But we know Microsoft, and we know organizations are using Microsoft and how they're using Microsoft. And we know that Microsoft is, man, it's hard to tell Microsoft no. Okay, it's hard to tell Microsoft no these days. But Power BI is a business tool. Again, it's business intelligence. It's not just a tool that is for computer programming. It's for business, right? So it's hitting the business, it's hitting the accounting departments, the marketing departments, the human resource departments, the operations department. It's hitting every department within an organization. Any department, any position within a company can and will be utilizing Power BI before it's over, whether they're using it from an end user standpoint or they're using it from a developer standpoint. But understand this, look at it like this. Say that there's a developer out there, and let's say that you are you're not saying management, you're in business administration, and administration could be keeping reports, monitoring output or whatever, right? There is a computer guy, an IT guy, or there's someone we're going to call it IT, they're calling it data analytics or data management maybe in a lot of organizations now. And that person is using your information. That person is going into the data, for the lack of any better term, that you've created, and they're taking your data and then they're placing it into dashboards, because that's what Power BI eventually turns into, is a dashboard. And they take this data and they create dashboards and reports with it. That person is no more familiar with your job than you are with their job. Let me say this a different way. That person doesn't know what you're doing. They've got to figure out what you're doing and then make it work in what they're doing. You learning Power BI, you already know what you're doing. You just got to figure out how to make it work as to how they're doing it, right? So I don't want you to feel as if, you're not ready to do the work because you don't know, how to create the report or where the data is coming from. Let's just take your position. Whatever you've been doing, think about all the data that you accumulate on a daily basis, or if you've been with your job for a certain X number of years, all of the things that you've created for your job, and you created reports, whether they were text reports and you sent someone, or you had to create reports to send. Those reports now are on they're now being created as data visualization, so that the team can look at that data from a visualization standpoint, whether it's a bar chart or a column chart, whether it's some type of funnel, whatever it is. Now that report is just a visualization on a piece. Rather than having that one report you sent, they can look at all the different reports, or they can look at a synopsis of all the different reports on one visualization now, right? You've been creating these reports all the time. You just haven't been creating the visualizations. These guys haven't been creating the visualizations. They've just been working in IT. Now, part of their job in IT is to take the reports that you have and create visualizations. So you already have what it takes in order to be a Power BI developer. You now just have to bring that second part of who you are, that second part of what you do, that second part of where you're going, and give yourself Give yourself room to grow. Give yourself room to learn something new. Give yourself room for expansion and to take control of your salary, take control of your career, and say, hey, I'm not just this, I'm this and that. And the amount that you pay me right now, I need more because you're paying this guy more, but I'm able to do what I do and what he does or what she does, okay? I'm not gonna go too deep into that right now, but what I am gonna say is that you are ready to be a Power BI developer. It's just a matter of, are you really ready to change your mindset and say, hey, I can do that too. I deserve to make more money, right? I'm not gonna make it all about money. I'm just gonna make it all about money, right? And you know, for those of you out there that say, hey, you know, money's not everything, you're right. You know, if you just want to learn the skill set, if you just want to learn Power BI, you can do that too. You can learn Power BI and not do anything with it, right? I mean, as for me, I think, you know, I would, if I was going to school to be a mechanic, you know, I would think that, you know, once I finish, I would want to do what mechanics do and get paid what mechanics get paid, right? If I was going to school to be an airplane mechanic, I would, you know, eventually want to be able to work on airplanes and get paid what airplane mechanics make. But, you know, just out of the goodness of my heart, if I just want to do it for free because I just love being an airplane mechanic and I'll just do this for free, I mean, that's fine too, okay? But at the end of the day, I'm just here to let you guys know, or I'm actually here to just let you know that Power BI is something that you can be moving towards, you can be moving into. When it comes to certifications, I do teach a course on certifications. That's a whole nother course. Right now, we're talking about the basics. You do not have to be certified to be a Power BI developer. Okay, you just need to know what you're doing, right? That's what makes a good Power BI developer. A good Power BI developer just knows what they are doing and how to create the reports, right? To get certified, that's icing on the cake, right? But just because you have a certification does not mean you know Power BI. It just means that you are one of three things. Either you are a good test taker, someone gave you the answers to the test, or you guessed. Either you're a good test taker, someone gave you the answer. Well, let me back up. Either it's one of four things. I'm going to say one of three things. One of four things. Either you studied hard and you passed the test, someone gave you the answers to the test, you're a good test taker, or you guessed and you passed the test. None of those four make you a good Power BI developer. None of them. So, you know, I don't want you to get too bogged down. You start, you know, doing your Google searches and, you know, the certifications come up. There are certifications. I'm not gonna, what my son say, I'm not gonna hold you. Is it hold you or hose you? I'm not sure. One of them. I think I'm not gonna hold you. I do have certifications. I do have a Power BI certification. I have a data engineering certification. I have a Microsoft Fabric engineering certification. I have an artificial intelligence associate certification. I got a couple other certifications. I think I may have 7, 8, 9 certifications. None of those certifications mean I know how to do the job. It just means that I studied hard because I'm not a good test taker. Nobody gave me the answers and I didn't guess. I studied hard for the test and I passed the test and I got certifications. Anybody can get certifications. I know anybody can get certifications because I got certifications. But what I do know is, I do know that just because I have certifications it does not give me the reason of why I'm able to teach this course, and it does not give me the reason why I've gotten opportunities within Power BI. Simply put, it's just icing on the cake. It looks good on the resume, but at the end of the day, that's not what we're talking about. At the end of the day, we're talking about getting you to pass the course, to get you through the course of Power of the BI, so that you will be able to get that 6-figure opportunity. So I'm not gonna beat that dead horse much longer. I just wanted to stop by, give you that information, and let you know that I am going to be holding a free webinar next Sunday. I'm going to be holding a free webinar next Sunday. It's going to be a 90-minute webinar. And if you're interested, come ready to work, come ready to learn. Follow the link below and register because I will need to send you information so that you will have it ready to do work as we work through on the webinar. So with that said, thank you for joining in, and I look forward to seeing you win again in the next video.